Welcome back. Welcome on in. Come on. It's Off the Edge with me, your host, Cam Jordan. I'm just happy to be here. Happy to start stacking wins. Finally, it feels good. We started off 2-0 in the season. Now we're sitting here 5-4. We won the last 2 games. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about what we got coming up this episode. We've got a great interview with former teammate, now, down in Dallas, Brandon Cooks. We're definitely got to talk about the Saints win. We're going to talk about how Cal almost won again. I had Oregon this past week. It hurts. We're going to get bowl eligible. Then we're going to stay on topic, and we're going to talk about my favorite quarterbacks to sack and who's up next. Stick with me on Off the Edge. Perfect. So let's get it. We had a good time, in New Orleans, the Dome Field advantage. New Orleans Saints take on the Bears, and it just is what it is. Before the game, I was in a mindset of, I can't even get close to a sack. Like, it has to be all mine. The week prior, I had a sack. They thought I had to split a sack. I hit them first. I'm still confused on how I got X'd out the entire sack, but Carl Granderson sack, not Cam Jordan sack. Carl Granderson sack happened 2 weeks ago. We go into this weekend knowing that we have to affect the quarterback. I kept calling him Baguette, but his name is not Baguette. Quarterback by Bajent. Dog. He might be something special in some years coming soon. Comes in for a hurt Justin Fields. We talk about willing and dealing on offense. They put up a quick 14 in that first half. We're just looking around. Again, we start hunting. We're starting to shut things down. Whole second half, they had 3 points. Prior to the game, we knew what we had to do. I come out the tunnel, and I see a quarterback that I love, like near and dear to my heart. We talk about the Matt Ryan, 2015 MVP of the NFL. Matt Ryan of the Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan, who I've made great connections with over the years. Had a 4-sack game, had a 3-sack game, have multiple sack games. Like, if you count up all the games that we've played together, I left with 23 of them things with him. 23. That's a connection that we have forever. So I saw him. I got one for the road.
Back underneath. Here he is before the game, sacking Matt Ryan.
Well, he did it 23 times in his career, which is the most of any defender against any quarterback. And
Matt's saying, man, bro,
it still hurts.
What are you doing?
I thought I was done with that. I thought that was over. That part of my life was over.
I said, hey, my dog, quick little wrap up. His whole knees gave out. He told me, what he say? He said something along the lines of, I thought this was over. I thought this part of my life was over. No, come on. We got a special connection. It's me and you together forever. We're going to keep it going, which led us into the game. Got a full sack on Bajent. Beat a guard, beat a running back, had to spin back for the sack. It is what it is. Could have had 2 or 3 if it was a great game. Smacked him towards the end of the game. Knew I had a sack, looked down, ball was out. Frustrating. But the last couple of weeks, that's what it's been. We've had these elusive type, running type quarterbacks that you want to make quarterbacks, but they get out the pocket. And that's on the entire D-line. It's like a pit stain. Like when it happens, when a quarterback streaks up the field, you immediately look at the D-line. You're like, but we were rushing 3 or we were rushing 4, and they had 7 in. It was 4 versus 7. There was going to be some lanes. It is what it is. As a D-line, you have to do better. You have to have your eyes on the quarterback. Even if you want to hit that edge like you can, you got to slow it down and have eyes on the quarterback. Your average fan is going to be like, oh, you're not getting the sacks that you're supposed to be getting. But as a defense, when you go against these mobile quarterbacks, it sort of sucks as a pass rush. Because it's like, I could win on the outside. I could kill this dude on the outside. But that leaves lanes open for a quarterback to step up, create deep ball threats, and or just create more yards for himself when he takes off. It gets frustrating, but that's the name of the game. You can't be a pass rusher each and every time. That's why it's so imperative that you stop the run. Think about this. Out of 150 yards that the Bears had, 78 of them came from a quarterback. That's embarrassing. That's on the D-line. You literally just look at the D-line like the corners are doing their job, locking people down, doing what they're supposed to do. All of a sudden, you have a quarterback escaping. Man, it's on us. So as a defensive end, I'm looking at the interior and like, hey, we're responding. And we respond in the second half. We get to it. Let's talk about this. These DBs, let's get to this. My man Paulson Adebo had two interceptions and a forced fumble, forcing the issue.
Bajan steps up over the middle, intercepted again! And it's a Debo again! His second of the day, and the third pick by Tyson Bagent.
My dog, Paulson, he was trying to show some wiggle in the second interception. Now, which way was he going to wiggle? I have no idea, because he started getting vertical, runs back to like the 45, runs back to the 40 towards the end zone, and I'm just like, finally gets tackled, and then he takes off 60 yards to the opposite end zone. I love to cheer with my teammates. I love to dance with my teammates. I love to get it in with my dogs. We out there vibing. We go to the end zone. We celebrate. I'm pretty sure it just goes to say we get an interception. We're going to the nearest end zone. Nearest end zone, not farthest end zone. Everybody knows this. He ran 60 yards down. I'll see you on the sideline, my boy. You did a great job. Ended up having 5 turnovers on defense. That was the narrative of the game, is create these turnovers, and that's what they did. Again, Paulson had 2 of them, had a forced fumble. DJ Moore, who's been excellent this year, came up, had a vice tackle between him, Paulson, and I'd like to say Honey Badger. Paulson comes in, big left punch, a left punch out. Like, that's what you know. See top down on the right, because boys be strong on the right. Left, that takes talent. Either way, 5 turnovers. End of the game, strip sack by the Demario Davis. I had a sack on the kid, and it was great, but I wish it would have been a sack fumble. You know, I hit the kid, and I wish it had been a fumble. I just want more. So as much as we say, you know, we had a great game, it was a game we were supposed to win. Moving on up until this week, we've got the Minnesota Vikings, and we'll worry about that, you know, when we get there. We've already started breaking down film previously on what we could get better on, and we got a couple areas we need to get better on rapidly. But that being said, we got the Minnesota Vikings. Now, is Justin Jefferson going to play or not? Don't ask me. I do not know. I'm worried about getting to this new quarterback, Josh Dobbs, coming from Arizona Cardinals about a week ago. And this man took off, beat the Atlanta Falcons. We already started watching them. We watching Cardinals. We watching them at Steelers. We watching them at Green Bay. He's been like 7 different teams. But you know what? Have no fear. My man is Jeopardy smart. You know, everybody knows the acumen that he brings, but we didn't know how elusive he's getting, because he started wiggling in this game. So that's another game of us not being able to just pass rush on the edge. We'll be doing a lot of watch rush. That's when you get to the depth of the quarterback and you just, which way did he go, George? Which way did he go? It's not, I think it's frustrating. It is what it is. But we're going to have to shut down this run as well, because I do think that they've got talent. I think they've already lost Cam Akers, which sucks, because you hate to see a talented person get injured. But you know, we got to hone in and try and take that away. We're just going to get beyond our game, look around the league. I'm still sort of upset, because there was a Washington Commanders defensive end that had a sack and got a roughing the passer, and it was the most regular sack on a quarterback that you probably ever see. Blindside, landed, rolled off the quarterback, didn't even like put full body weight on him. It was sort of weak. I don't know what we're doing sometimes. Like it seems like the NFL officiating calls are targeting defensive players. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm trying to tell defensive ends, you have to ask for permission before you can sack a quarterback. Like, as he's falling, you have to ask him, is he okay to hit the ground? You may have to just catch him now. You know, you read him a bedtime story, send him a love letter. I don't know anymore. That just is what it is, you know. But beyond that, again, Minnesota Vikings coming up, excited. Can we head into the bye week and stack another win? That's a whole mission for this week. Stack the win, worry about bye week after. Now let's just turn, like, we're 10 games in, about to be 11 games in. There's a lot of teams that are going at a high rate, but everybody is defeatable. There's no more undefeated teams. There's teams sitting at 6-4. There's teams, sitting at 5. A lot of teams sitting at 5-4. Is there a team at 7-2? I believe so. I believe it's like the Eagles, something like that. But let's just give, just a mid-season temp check. Who do I think right now is at the forefront of their division? And I'm going to start off with the NFC, and I'm going to say Saints, because I just believe that with all the games, we really could be sitting at 9-1. We lost to Tampa Bay, but the other games that we've lost, we could have won. We have every chance to win. We've been in each and every one of them. Green Bay, 17 up. We end up losing. We don't put up any more points after that. That's on the defense, because if you're up and the offense never scores, they can't win. lose to, whoever we lose to, other than Tampa Bay, which that happened, uh, we could have easily be sitting that high. So I'm just high on the Saints. I know I have a feeling I'm going to speak it into existence. We're making the playoffs. We're making a deep run. We're going to have a possibility. All you need is a ticket to get a chance. Ticket to the playoffs gets you a chance at the Super Bowl because you can't get a Super Bowl without getting a ticket to the playoffs. I'm just saying. I love it for us. That's my mission. That's my goal. That's what you play these seasons for. Next up, or maybe aside, I don't know. We're not going to put them on 1 through 4 rating, but of course you have the Eagles, tush push. You have Jalen Hurts. You've got AJ Brown. You've got D Smith at wide receiver. You got Swift at running back. You guys got what Eagles have probably the most talented, most depth D line in the game. DB's talented. You probably look at them and be like, it's hard to say they don't have leaders and or core players at each and every position. And then after them, you would say 49ers, similar, the only thing be different is what Brock Purdy you're going to get. Because you've got Ayuk, you've got Christian McCaffrey on the defensive line, you got Nick Bosa. They just traded for a defensive end, and D. Chase Young out of Ohio State, former #1 overall pick, now paired up with his defensive end opposite Ohio State. And you look at their middle, Kinlaw, Eric Armstead. They're just Hargrove, like they're Hargraves. Yeah, Hargraves. They're just talented. They're so deep at the defensive line. And then of course, let's round it out with the Lions. And again, you got Aiden Hutchinson. You've got a former Cal Bear over there, Jared Goff. When you have depth at D line, I just feel like you're going to do well. When you've got two bookends or you got monsters in the middle at D tackles, you're going to do well. And I think that's the case with the Eagles, Niners, and as well as the Lions, as well as I think the Saints. This is what it is. Let's flip to the AFC side now. AFC side in no particular order. I'm gonna say Chiefs, Ravens, Jaguars, Bengals. Chiefs got Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce. That's case in point. That just is what it is. He has made it work with every other wide receiver. But as long as T. Kelsey's there, they're gonna be special. Their defense is turning up. Like they were in Germany this past week and turning up on Miami Dolphins, which was surprising. I thought it was going to be a much closer game. And then we talk about the Ravens. You have El Boogie, El Freaky, Lamar Jackson doing his thing. It's going to be a win. If he's healthy, when he's healthy, he's a game changer. You have to be aware of his arm. You have to be aware of his legs. You have to be you have to be aware where he is at all times. And let's not get it twisted. He makes some big plays with his legs, but his wide receivers can go crazy too. I think that's just the talent of the Ravens, and their defense has been active. You talk about the Jaguars. You talk about #1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne. They probably have they got a special 3 at their wide receiver. You talk about their offense. Their offense is able to put up them points. I definitely think highly of the Jaguars. And I'm just like, at that point, the 4th spot, I don't know who that's going to be, but I feel like I can't not talk about Joe Burrow, Trey Hendrickson, and the Cincinnati Bengals. I say Bengals, but people say Bengals, and I'm confused on why that E is an I sometimes, but it is what it is. I think highly of them as well. Joey B, since he's got there, has completely turned that franchise around, because you were never talking about the Bengals like this for the last 20 years. But it is what it is. All right, so that's sort of that mid-season tip. From there, a lot can happen in these last 7 games. It's 8 weeks of football, 7 games, 8 weeks. There's still bye weeks to be had. People haven't figured that part out. But you all these teams, what I keep mentioning is this defensive line, right? Like, if you have depth at defensive line, you got book ends, book DTs. You're going someplace. Defense wins championships. They never say, like, they don't. The saying has always been defense wins championships. Defense can take over the game. Defense can close games out, and that's why you love to see the D line do work and get paid the way they've been getting paid. You talk about Nick Bosa popped off this season with the highest paid average at 34 change million. That's million a year now. Change a year. Then you talk about somewhere in the last couple of weeks, Carl Granderson from New Orleans Saints get paid. And I'm like, all right, well, you should have ran the bag up. You should have ran that check up, because it's going. You saw Rashawn Gary, whatever he signed for, 4 for 97, 4 for 96, 4 for 90. It's a lot. 4 for 90 plus. Congratulations, boy. I love being a D lineman. I love them just running up the bag like this. Because then, of course, the Washington Commanders trade both their potential star defensive ends, Montez Sweat and Chase Young, and Montez goes signs a 4-year, 98, which 73, like 72.9 million guaranteed. Whew. I could say was congratulations. So I'm at the game. I said, hey man, run that bag up. You keep going, man. I love it for y'all. But it only sets the market for what's upcoming. Chase Young, Daniil Hunter. That bag keeps getting better and better. I don't know what it is. Guys want to be, tight ends. Guys want to be linebackers. D line, you play well, you get paid well. You know, guys are taking over the game. Yeah, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Even a Trey Henderson may like Bengals got to throw his old deal out. Like he's ran that up. They gotta throw that old deal out, get him paid. Put him up to scale. He's making, I think, 15 a year, and he's underpaid. His defense, he's highly valued. Like that's that guy over there. Again, Daniil Hunter coming into his last year. It's about that time to cash that check. Depending on what Chase Young do in the next 7 games, they probably gonna have to cash that check. I just love seeing guys get paid, guys get what they owed. I hope one day we can all just go towards fully guaranteed contracts. But that is what it is. We'll see what happens. When I just think about being blessed enough to be a part of the NFL, man, it is what it is. You dream about being in these moments. You dream about being in the fourth quarter. You dream about fourth quarter sacks. You dream about sacking quarterbacks. You dream about a 4th and 1 stop. I dream about them running a lead or a power to my side. I wish you would just test this edge. Boys be out there cutting up in the B's and the A gaps, or we're trying to bounce out with tosses, trying to hit E gaps, D gaps. And I'm like, but I'm in this C. Come right at me. I like that. But it is what it is. So much love. Shout out to all the D linemen out there who have dreams, aspirations of being D ends in the league, D tackles in the league. It's a time, you just can't be nothing more than excited. Which now I just want to, just talk about who we got coming in, because we got a dog coming in. It's and he's on mute. You're always on mute, Thomas.
I'm always on mute. Okay, before you move on, so there's another topic that we want you to hit on that we didn't tell you because, frankly, we didn't want you to poo-poo it. So, as he sips from his red plastic cup. Mm-hmm. Okay, so on Tuesday,
good grapefruit juice, good ice, good vibes.
I got you. Yes, good vibes. On Tuesday on Good Morning Football, NFL Network, our newest teammate, Gerald McCoy, you know him, played against him, right? Your defensive line brethren.
Yeah, absolutely. He Oklahoma.
There you go.
I think he's got a kid at Oklahoma. Like he's I'm not like he's got like a son at Oklahoma, right?
I don't know, so I'm not going.
Don't know. I'm
not co-signing on that one.
Pretty
okay.
Sure. I'm a 94% positive.
I believe you. I believe you. We can ask him. Okay. So on Tuesday, he came up with this list of what he calls the 5 most underappreciated pass rushers in the league. We want to get your take on it. Okay. So here's the list. If you're listening, you can go on YouTube and see the list for yourself. All right. So the list is number 1, Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat from the Eagles. Number 2, Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals, your boy. Number 3, Josh Allen from the Jaguars. 4, Alex Highsmith from the Steelers. And number 5, Justin Matabike from the Ravens. And he also has 2 honorable mentions. We can't leave those out. Brian Burns from the Panthers and Danico Autry from the Titans. Cam Jordan, what say you about this list?
Solid list. Underappreciated. Yeah, I mean, I feel like people love talking about guys like TJ Watt. You're always going to talk about your high, the Aiden Hutchinson, your first rounders. But Trey Hendrickson, I mean, come on, Trey Hendrickson is a dog. You talk about the entire D line at the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know if they're underappreciated or just overshadowed because the entire D line is first rounders and or game changers. When you talk about Josh Sweat, when you talk about Hassan Reddick, you talk about both the Georgia D tackles, you talk about Fletcher Cox, you talk about Brandon Graham. Then of course there's the defensive end out of Tennessee. They drafted 4 or 5 years back. And it's like they've got so much depth at D line. I don't know if it's underappreciated or just overshadowed by the fact that everybody's a first round pedigreeer. You know, like everybody's got that first round pedigree. They're like, oh, they're having success. Yeah, yeah, they are. There's a reason why. You know. And then last year they even lost Hargraves, who went over to the Niners. But um, yeah, what was the other three? It was Alex Highsmith, which I've got thoughts on the Steelers defense. Like in terms of their edge rushers, man, those true underrated dogs are the Cam Haywards, the D tackles that do the work to stop the run for the edge rushers. Those edge rushers be been in that like 8 and 9. Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt. I'd be having like dreams like, oh, but the fact that they're not talking about Alex Highsmith enough. I mean, my man, what like last week, 2 weeks ago, he had a 2-piece forced fumble. He was going crazy. Um, and of course, you're going to talk about T.J. Watt doing an insane edge rush where his lid came off and he did like four whatever it was 540. He like bent the edge, came around, and still was able to get a sack against Tennessee. Helmet off, whatever it is. So you're juiced about it, but I mean, those are Alex Highsmith he's got a high motor. You didn't see a real drop off when TJ went down because Alex Highsmith went stupid. Also got rewarded a great contract this year. You love to see it. And Justin I always called him Matabuki, and that's probably not right. Justin Buiki. I don't know how to say his last name, but yeah, absolutely. I think when you talk about the Ravens, you always talk about the Ravens secondary, of course, because you got Marcus Williams and you got Fruit Punch, but you've got corners that have been Pro Bowlers. You've got first rounders all throughout that secondary. Then of course you got Pat Queen. And then you bring up the front, and you're like, oh, the front's cool, but they got some edge now. They got some rushers that can get after it, and Matabike is definitely one of those guys. So that's a solid 5. And I mean, honorable mention is
who's missing? Anybody missing?
Carl Granderson. Like, it's crazy. Carl Granderson has 5.5 sacks, right? And I think he's missed like 3. And the fact that you're not talking about Carl Granderson on this edge is just crazy to me. Like in terms of edge rushers, I don't like he's up there. Like you put him on defense that rushes 4 or 5 D linemen every third down, you're gonna be higher. On a good year, Carl Granderson gonna be up there. Y'all gonna be talking about him for a long time. But anyways, so let's wrap that part up and get on to this Brandon Cooks interview. My former teammate in the first round, I think he was like the 15th overall pick from the Texans. No, now when he plays for the Texans, but from Oregon State. My guy Brandon Cooks has been a dog. Came in, just started putting together 1,000-yard seasons. It was crazy. I think he put in like 1,100 yards, and then we ended up trading him. And I was like, why would we do that? But it is what it is. I always want to see all my teammates stay and be right here next to me forever. I'm selfish and greedy like that. But then he goes in and has stellar careers, and wherever he goes, he's going to put together 1,000 yards. Throw him that deep ball, throw him a slant. He could take it to the crib. Brandon Cooks is underappreciated. We talk about underappreciated people. Brandon Cooks is underappreciated. He's a photographer. He's a father. He's which clearly one of the chosen ones. And now he's a pilot. I just want to see what he has to say. Coming up next, we got Brandon Cooks on Off the Edge with me, your host, Cam J. Welcome back to Off the Edge with me, your host, Cam Jordan. I'm just so blessed and privileged to sit beside on the other side of the camera with this man, Brandon Cooks, a former teammate, came in strong, started putting together 1,000-yard seasons like off rip. My dog has been monstrous, reliable. Knew this dude was special. First time I see him like take a slant to the crib, I said, "Oh, he got different speed." Oregon State, beyond anything, you're just a great dude, great teammate. Man, I'm just blessed to have you on the pod, bro. Appreciate you tapping in.
No, man, come on. As soon as I heard it was you, I said no problem at all. It's always love. So I appreciate you having me on.
I just want to say, bro, you get drafted, bro. We spent 3 years together, but before you got drafted, bro, like you took off and just like I said, hit the ground running, bro. Started putting together these 1,000-yard seasons. What can you attribute that to? Coming from, they called you. I remember they called you undersized when you first got to the league. I don't know what undersized had to do with speed and hands, but they called you undersized when you got to the league, bro. Like, just give me that process of, if you even recall, the many moons ago when you was a rook.
Crazy how time fly. I think the biggest thing is just, as you know, there's always going to be something said, right? So you can take that and turn it in something that's fuel, or just let it get to you. Obviously, I knew I wasn't growing no more. That's one thing. I wasn't getting taller. But as we all know, in a sense, speed kills. But when you come into the game with a bunch of professionals, i.e., yourself, Drew, and then Big Bro Colston, I think the biggest thing was just becoming also a student of the game. And so, like, your speed can actually translate. There's one thing of being fast, but there's another thing of, knowing where you're supposed to be and being fast. That I feel that allows you to be able to really play at a different speed, for sure.
Right. But you've seen a lot of speed demons that ain't got hands.
Nah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You came in snagging things now.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, he run a 4.3. And you're like, you saw you run, and he was like, oh, he really run a 4.3.
Yeah. I think it comes to just repetition. Like, you can't just take your strong suits and let that be it. You know what I mean? Whether it be catching a rock, you got to work at it. All of it. You just got to work at it. I mean, you ain't in the game. Was it 12 for you now?
13, my boy.
Ooh, sorry, I apologize for shorting you. Oh my gosh.
Hey, it is what it is.
Man, it's still going.
Still, I need it. I need it. You know what I'm saying? You know me, bro. I still go to practice like I came with these hands. Somebody got to get blessed now.
I need to do something with it.
Man, God gave me too many talents for me not to put them on display.
Hey, it's in the genes. It's in the blood.
I need it. You need it. Can't just be a disappointment.
Nah.
I'm Steve's son now.
No doubt. Facts. Oh, man.
But man, I just and even so, we hit the ground running, bro. You have put together what 6,000-yard seasons?
Yep.
Like you talk about Colston, who just strung them things together like seven 1,000-yard seasons. I don't even know what it takes to put a 1,000-yard season up. I try and do this math, translate them like 1,000-yard season is like it's like a 10-sack season. Like that's really maybe 11-sack season. Like it's really hard to attain for real.
Yeah,
and you don't put so many together.
Yeah, when you put it that way, that's real. I think, really what it comes to at the end of the day is just, continuing to work, never getting satisfied. I mean, it's year 10, and like I feel in my true opinion, there's a lot left in the tank, and just being able to take advantage of those opportunities, right? Everybody talk about age, but I mean, the new age in this game, the way people taking care of their bodies. I mean, you could play for a real long time, So just trying to break that narrative as best as I can.
I mean, for me, you had, Jerry Rice played what, like 19, 20 seasons?
Yeah.
Larry Fitz played like 18?
Yeah, them boys was on something different right there.
I'm just saying, Chris Carter was like 14, 15 seasons.
Facts.
Like, you in that rare air too, my boy. Like, you in year 10 and you're not slowing down. You know exactly what you bring to the table.
And that's what it comes down to, that confidence. I mean,
I
like to say I'm a young 10, just like you. You're a young 13 because you came in at 22. You came in at 20, right?
Yeah. No, I came at 21. I wish I would have came in at 20. Okay. I came at 21. I didn't get paid till I was 22 though. Like, I had that I had that lockout year, so like, it was right in camp.
That's right.
Got that bread.
So you was a new CBA. You missed it by a year.
Man, what? Boys are getting broke off. Des Bryant was a year before me. He was just think about that. Des Bryant, like put up the X88 was a year before me, and he got double what I made.
Man,
that first contract,
who was Sue and all them boys.
Ooh. See, I never looked at that because I was like, I was 24th overall pick. Like, I didn't have to, like, I'm just looking at something comparable. I can't look at first contract was 50, 60 mil, whatever that was.
Yeah, that's
I looked at Des Bryant. I was like, oh, he made 15 change. I was like, okay, I'm 24th. I'm about to make 16. It's got to go up a little bit. No, 7.5. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait, my zeros.
Yeah.
Hey, mama, put the car back.
Yeah. Go ahead and go put that back. We got to make some different plans.
I know I said car, but like it's coming. Next contract.
No doubt.
You've been to a few teams now. You started off with the Saints, get traded to the Pats. Yeah. And I was like, I'm sorry. Go to the Rams, and then
that was a fun one.
To the Texans.
Yeah.
And now you wait, dang, he said, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and now
No,
you
I'm
and
just saying, like I lost my quarterback, and
man,
it was 4 different head coaches in 3 years. Like I'm swinging. I'm
I'm
swinging.
I'm fighting for
You
my
know what I
life.
mean? Great organization, and I mean I love to see what they're doing now. They feel like they truly figuring it out. But that was a tough 3 year stretch. But got a lot of respect for
As
those.
a receiver, when you go through those type of quarterbacks, it's hard to build like that trust, that rapport that you need with your guy. Like, hey, when I hit this stick nod, this is where I'm going to be.
Facts.
Where I hit this slant, like I need you to hit me, not
Yep. Yep.
or
That's real.
whatever that
And when
communication
you're
that.
going through 4 of those dudes, in one season, it's like, man, no rhythm. But
So you
it,
say that
it
would be the hardest year, like when you had a transition, Texans three
yeah, my
quarterbacks.
heart is it was that 3 year stretch, for that reason. Come in, had Deshaun next year, didn't have him. Had 2 to 3 quarterbacks that season.
Right.
Following year, had 2 to 3 quarterbacks playing with that season. Like I said, 4 different head coaches, and like it was just tough, especially when you come from organizations that you just been doing it right for a long time. New Orleans Patriots, uh, and to go through that, it's like, man, this is new territory. Just trying to figure it out.
But what does it feel like being traded? Like, just give me like in the middle of the season, who do you call? Like
So
you
now
got
the
that
blessing
call.
is I haven't been in the middle of the season. It was always
Okay.
after the season. Um, and the cool thing about like my first couple ones is like my head coach. We talked through whatever. The Patriots one, I'm really not shocked. They don't pay guys right, and I'm like, man, for my first one, the way I grew up, I'm like, and I know if I hit the market, I can get X,
Right.
and like the thought would be like taking half of that. I'm like, I call my mom and tell her that that's gonna be a tough conversation. You know what
No
I
doubt.
mean? Especially for your first one. For your first
Absolutely.
one, you like, man, you put in this work. So I wasn't surprised about that one. But the cool thing is like we kind of talked through that one. Bill and I, and still to this day he
What you
check
what
in
you
on
what you
me.
mean you talk through?
It was just like
Not the agent, but you
no,
okay.
Brandon, the contract. We can't do that. I'm like, no, I totally understand. You guys don't pay skill dudes. I mean, you got Brady. You don't have to, right?
You don't have to.
So it's definitely a mutual respect there. It's just, and he got a first round pick. The first 2 times they got first round picks. So it's all a part of the game, man. It's all a part of
Yeah.
the game.
So you never even hit free agency for real, for real.
No, Cam, never,
How's that like?
never. I never got into a bidding war with nobody.
Welcome on in. Welcome on back, bro. Welcome on back.
Same here.
Have no idea what free agency looks like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But so I've never been able to hit free agency. But I've just been fortunate enough to go to some great teams. I mean, 2 Super Bowls back to back. Unfortunately, obviously, didn't come up with the win. But
Right.
you got to
And
play.
you've been. I've never
Yeah,
even been.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that's just a different feeling, right? Like you figure it's a Super Bowl. It's a week. It's like a week of practice, and then the week of Super Bowl. Like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, to get to the Super Bowl, that one sting. I remember we was in the dome, and the
man,
no call, whatever we want to call it.
right,
Yeah.
right, sickness. That's
Yeah,
that hurt for real. Like that's
man,
that.
man.
What did we do wrong? How can we get this
Yeah,
back?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if I don't hit a Super Bowl in the next year or two, like don't worry about it. I'm just gonna be. You can find me hopefully in a bottle of grapefruit juice, but it's probably gonna be tequila. It's
Hey, you
like
gonna have
man,
that gold jacket on though?
yeah, like coulda, shoulda, would have been records is what I'm gonna call that jacket.
Should have been records.
Talk about Super Bowl, Super Bowl 53, and you went off. You still remember the play. You still remember how you went crazy. He was going federally.
You know how we are. We remember the not so good, and I still think of that one in the end zone. Like, man, if I could have came up with that, could this have been that big of a difference of a game? It's
Right.
already low scoring game. So that one will always get to me just because the competitor in me, like, man, like
I need it.
how the game would have been different. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and I still to this day, in a sense, think about that one. And that's so I just want to taste it one more time and just finish it, bro.
Get back.
Just
Give me
finish
back.
it.
Get run it
Yeah,
back. One
just
more
give me
game.
back. Well, just one more, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I can like I still use some of these games for like fuel, and boys
Yeah.
don't even be knowing. I'm like, bro, like I remember you know, it was fourth quarter, and I could have got a sack or whatever it was, and I was like, I didn't get there. Bro, I use that as off-season fuel. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I run one more sprint. That's why I run one more. Like, if I'm ever in this position again, like, I'm gonna get there.
I'm not coming up short. It's not.
I'm not.
Like it's
It's
either I'm
imperative.
dying or I'm making this. There ain't no in between on this.
Ain't
one.
no in between.
Facts.
What?
No,
So
that's
you
real
get
talk. And no one ever probably thinks like to themselves or remember those things. Only you like will remember, or like only you yourself will remember that. Like probably no one's thinking about that no more. But it's still in my mind, like off season. And if I get back there or whatever, I ain't coming up short. That's just the mindset it got to be.
facts.
And if you
Facts.
don't get back, then it's like you said, I don't even drink, but I have a red cup with something else in it that is a little foreign. So
Yeah, I'll be out there just like, I'm like, man,
yeah,
like I know this offseason I'm be looking at this last week's game. I'm like, fourth quarter, yeah, he held me, but I'm stronger than him. I'm faster than him. Like,
facts,
sure they threw the flag,
facts.
but it should have been my sack. So now I'm
Yeah,
gonna be doing like 2 more reps on bench press.
facts.
Like,
That's
if I
real
would have
talk.
stiff armed this mug off me, it would have been mine.
Yep.
But
Well,
that's like
the mind.
that's the mindset. That's the competitive nature that we play. And it's like, even if it's a game of inches. So whatever we do, we have to be that much faster or that much stronger to make that play seamless.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
I want to get to the real now, because you've now played with the two best to ever lace them up. You played with Drew, and you've played with Tom Brady.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, so then
Don't
I
do
just
that
need
to
to
me.
know. I just know. I need to know. Is there a difference in mindset? Is there a difference in mindset? Let's go with that one.
No.
Same mindset.
Oh my gosh. The mindset is identical when it comes to that competitive nature. Like,
Yeah.
you know how Drew is
tweaking your wide receiver stat. Hey, I need you right.
Like, I'm talking like you be like, huh? How you see my body? That's the same how Tom was. Like,
Really?
But I truly say there's no difference in mindset. Both got that chip on their shoulder. So
tell me, like, you go from Tom Brady and Drew Brees, right? Greats, goats, top two ever going to lace them up, to now you got the young wave. You go through a Jared Goff, Cal Bear, Pac-10 guy you played with, guy you played against. And then you go Deshaun Watson, just the new wave of quarterbacks. He's leading now at the Browns. Jared Goff's over at Detroit Lions, and they're still playing at such a high level. Do you see any similarities between those two guys versus the two GOATs that you played with?
Well, I mean, we forgetting one person, and that's Dak, who I'm with now, right?
Oh, that was disrespectful of me. We were going to get there. We were just going to.
Okay, because
we were going through the progression. We were going through the progression.
We usually on the good terms.
Absolutely.
But right there, I almost had the
You were going to chin check me on that one?
Real quick. Hold on, you missed one of them.
We were going through the four notables, and then we were going to get to number 5.
All right, fair enough.
Dang!
Yeah. Hey, Dak, if you watching this, don't worry, I got you. Bro.
I got your back. It sounded like you wasn't standing no business.
Facts. Nah, I mean, between Jared and Deshaun, like you said, that new wave, I think the cool thing is it's two completely different quarterbacks, the way they play the game. Jared, I mean, he could, the same thing he did at Cal. I mean, he could throw the ball all day, 60 attempts a game, you know what I mean, and not be sore,
Right.
but he doing it mainly from the pocket. Deshaun,
right.
he's an escape artist, right? And then he's looking to escape the pocket and get the ball downfield. But I think the cool thing about Jared is he was so young and he took us to that Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, and just poised. Like, obviously we came up short, but at the end of the day, like the teams that we had to get through to get there, I mean, I was just impressed with the way, especially in a new offense, right? He was in St. Louis for so long, only a year into, Sean, new offense. But I call him just, smooth Jerry, because nothing seems to bother him. I got a lot of love for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Deshaun only got that 1 year with him, but one thing he can do, he can launch that thing. He get out that pocket.
He get out that pocket, get the shoulder shimmy. And I saw him in the snow, and I said, I was like, how he shaking in the snow, fam?
In the snow, you should be too tight to be doing that.
My first game ever seeing snow. My man out here wheeling and dealing. I said,
facts.
First of all, it's cold and it hurts to hit people. This is dumb. I was mad the entire game last year. We played the Browns with Deshaun Watson there. Anyway, so now take me to Dak now. Where do you insert him in that list?
Oh, I insert him up there. Like obviously Tom, Drew, whatever. I insert him
right up there.
up there. And the reason why, I'm gonna tell you this, because one, obviously he's been playing the game for a while now. This is 8th year. But anytime you play for the Cowboys, you're gonna get more scrutiny than anyone, right? But you
Or
look at his,
more love than anybody for something
it
very regular.
depends. Marketing, yeah, marketing.
No doubt.
Marketing, but I don't know if
like when you put on white and blue, it's like boys is quick to
yeah, no, yeah,
and they're like, bro, that is a very regular player.
Yeah, that
Right.
does. But that media
can go up too.
Yeah, media can go up.
You
But
get
you look at
it's
his
like
numbers.
it's like yeah, okay, you're right. Go
You
ahead.
look at his numbers
Mhm.
and what he's done. But his leadership though is like when I tell you one of the best leaders I've been around, and that's saying a lot. You know Drew, you know what I mean, and Tom obviously speak for itself. But that boy can lead you into a pack of wolves. Like it's so natural. It ain't fake. You know
That's
what I
because he got
mean?
them canines for him. That boy might be able to.
Hey, I'm telling you, he got that dog in him, and the fact that he keeps going. What I love about his story, you know, he loses his mom, loses his brother, and the fact that he could keep on going, and a lot of this stuff don't bother him. Like that's a dog right there. That's a dog. And then his on the
Absolutely.
field play speak for itself. You know what I mean? Especially like these last 3 weeks, it's showing why he's one of the best in the league, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all done had some close ones. Y'all done came out with some, and you lose a
Then
close one, and you like,
yeah.
you just like, give me the one play back. Give
Just
me
one more play. Just one more.
The crazy part about it is these games get so close. It really be one or two plays that you key in on. But like, if we had these two plays back, and at the same time you take a step back, you're like, even in our success, we could have had even more success. Like that, we had a 30-yard, whatever. It could have been a tutty.
Yeah.
We had a 15, but it had I planted left and shook the safety off just one more step off, I would have had a wide open whatever. And then you talk about just even on the team you're on now is you, CeeDee Lamb, Gallup over there. You like
we just got. Hey, look, I think you've been in the game long enough. The ones we come up short on, you just I feel like we still getting there. We so close, but close ain't gonna do it. But at the same time, I feel like we headed in that right direction. Because as you know, those playoff games, and I'm talking about a regular season, that's the difference on throughout the postseason, right? It ain't gonna ever be a blowout in postseason. So learning how to win those games in the regular season is only gonna set you up to be able to win them in the postseason. And all I know, we're gonna get back to work and keep pushing.
Right. I'll say your division sort of tough. Now, not the other two.
Hey.
But there's a big divide between the Eagles, Cowboys, and then Washington can surprise you.
Hey, Sam over there. Hey, look, that's another one. They had 2 games with them that won by a field goal, or they lost by a field goal. Them boys ain't look.
But there's a big divide.
Chill out. Nah, I wouldn't say that. You try to get them boys ammo. We still got to play them, right?
No, I'm gonna say it so you don't have to. Look, I still talk about how we lost to Green Bay. I said, bro, in the course of the season, you have games you're supposed to win, games you mark, you like these are gonna be, everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And games are like, all right,
you have like
this is gonna be one of those punctual games. Like those are the build confidence games to lead up to this.
Facts.
And when you don't build confidence the way you're supposed to, it just is what it is. You get so upset. You get sick with it. Like it's literally something that you carry into the off season. You've gone to a lot of teams, you've been a lot of places, but like is Cowboys where you want to consider home? Like that's what it is. Long term, you're thinking go back to the Saints. I mean, Cowboys.
I remember it was closer. I heard about that, by the way.
I heard we was close too. Man, one time I said, how they coming back?
Yeah. Man, just taking it one day at a time. You know what I mean? Taking it one day at a time.
Yeah, give me that politically correct. Yeah, give me that politically correct.
I truly love it here. I love it. But, I mean, out of all people, I know how that can change. I love it. But, just taking it one day at a time. Because we got some dudes that's coming up that need to get paid. You got Micah, you got CD, you got Dak again.
No doubt.
You can't keep everybody together, so let's just take it one day at a time.
I hear you. I also think the cap is a myth. Like, they'll be like, you can't pay everybody.
So many ways to wiggle around that thing. I'm with you. You're
10 in, I'm 13 in. And they're like, we're cash strapped. We don't have enough. And then that same year, you be 100 over. They pay 3 other people. And you just be like, but I thought you said you ain't had no more.
Yeah.
You paid 3 other people? All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, facts.
Can I be up next on the plane though? When you start taking plane rides and whatnot, you got your license now?
I got
I saw
my
you think
license.
pilot, big pilot.
Hey, come on up, man. We'll come back down. Say, I know you've been up there with Jimmy a few times.
Nah, I've never been up with Jimmy. Jimmy inspired me to put like 30 hours together. I don't took some classes, some courses, and then I started having kids, and I was like,
Can't
don't
leave
have
him
time for
behind.
I ain't got no time for that no more.
No, I feel you on that. I feel you.
When'd you get that? When'd you get your
2
pilot
years.
license?
So going on my second year now, having my actual license. Yeah, it was just one of those things, one of those off seasons. Jimmy did inspire me though, but it just took me a lot longer to get to it.
How many talks have you had with Jerry Jones? Especially like you saw your clip flying with Dak and your teammates,
Yeah.
and they were like, Jerry Jones said he can't take no teammates up there. Was that a real conversation or was that just cap? That was a real conversation?
Nah, I mean, it wasn't a real conversation with me, but yeah, I feel like that was half real, half not. You know what I mean? But let's just say I haven't taken anyone up again. Let's just say
Yes,
that.
sir. Hey, yes,
I hear you
sir.
loud and clear. I hear you
Loud and
from
clear.
afar. Yes, sir. Got you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I ain't playing that game.
No doubt. Hey, my man was out there dipping and whipping. I said, oh, look at
Hey, them
teammates.
boys
I
was
said,
back there, and you saw the 2 that was back there too.
yeah, that's what
You
I'm saying. I said,
talking
the heroes, the trifecta. I said,
Oh man. Hey,
okay.
that just shows you. Hey, he told us to have team bonding. So
Hey,
what more way you
there ain't
can?
nothing more than a trust fall than hopping in another man's plane.
Hey, come on now. Look, we bonded right there.
Hey, prop plane. Was it prop or was it
Yeah,
engine? Prop.
Prop.
Oh, you
Hey,
feeling
he
all
had a
them bumps.
parachute in it, so we'll be
Absolutely.
good.
But hopefully it never gets there.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
And I say, look, I was just watching. I was like, I wonder if he actually really said something like that. I see
No,
what he
I
released
joked
to
with
the
him.
media.
I told him one in passing. I said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna be flying your helicopter next." And we just laughed it off. So next time, what I'm telling, I said, if we ever win a championship together, I was like, then you got to go with me in the plane. I bet you he'll do that.
Why not? Why not? Jerry up there now. Like, I don't know how old he is, but he's been there long enough to see. We don't want to go into it.
He's
He
still
been there,
stepping. Hey, he's still stepping. He's still stepping.
Absolutely. Like, I know you're a flyer, you're a photographer, and you really got into photography like when you were younger because you started traveling a lot. This one of those things that we share in common is we love traveling.
Yeah.
What is your favorite spot to travel to? Just in case I haven't been there.
New Zealand.
My pops is just talking about it. He went this last year. He was like, man, it was great, man. We did it.
Yeah,
I need to go see an All Blacks game. I need it.
New Zealand so
it.
cold. And the cool thing about it, they summer is our winter. So when season over, after the Super Bowl, it's summertime over there. So and maybe when you got to hit. I've been twice. Let's just put it like that.
Oh, we had a double back.
But Southeast Asia was dope too. But New Zealand
was
just
yeah. All right, now I'm gonna send one your way. If you ever want to check out like a Bahrain,
okay.
Bahrain is solid times.
Pretty dope. All right.
Solid times.
Yeah.
Solid times.
All right.
And then just an Asian tip because I'm never gonna go back, but like Macau.
Okay. All right.
Whatever it is, just know Macau does 3 times what Vegas does in terms of gambling profits, revenue, whatever that is.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stay away from. I'm gonna go ahead and save it. I'm gonna go
Black and Jackie. Be out there, bam, bam, bam. Just saying. That's 3 times.
Yeah.
Huh. I was successful. Took a helicopter in to Macau, by the way.
You have to, right? Pretty much.
I think so. Yeah, I think you could. I did both. You take the boat on over.
Yeah.
From from Hong Kong to Macau, or you could take the helicopter. I did both. I was like, I need to experience both.
Yeah, I need to see both. Yeah,
I need to see both.
Okay.
And they're about the same price wise. Like that's how frequent people go. And I was like, yeah, I need it.
There you go.
And I went dolo, by the way. Like me and wifey went to Hong Kong.
You're a bad man,
bro. Me and wifey went to Hong Kong. She dips because I'm about to go to Korea on a USO tour. Yeah. And in between there, I had like 2 days or whatever that was. So I went straight to Macau.
I love it.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Great man for waiting. Great man for waiting.
You can't go play blackjack, 18 hours straight with the wife.
Honey, you ready? I'm like, I gotta focus.
No, I'm 200 up. Yeah, I'm 200 up. I can't. I gotta start. I'm winning. Yeah. You can't. Hey, but
All
anyways,
right.
keep on balling, keep on being blessed. I appreciate you tapping in, bro. It's always love.
Always love, bro.
Let me know if I can do something for you. You know what I'm saying? You ever got a kids camp? Not all the way in Corvallis. I'm coming.
Nah, I won't do you like that. I won't do you like that. All right, big dog.
Appreciate
I
you, my guy.
appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Keep
buddy.
going.
Peace. Man, my dog B. Brandon Cooks of the Dallas Cowboys. You see him stand on 10 toes for his guy Dak Prescott. I was getting there. I promise you I wasn't going to leave Dak out. Anyways, I just appreciate him so much for tapping in. That's been my guy since he got here. My dog B. Cooks would for every catch he would make in practice, he would like kiss his lips, tap his chest, kiss his lips, tap his chest, kiss his lips, tap his chest, kiss his lips for a really long time, brush his teeth, and then point up to Jesus, give him the Lord his prayer. My dog B. Cooks is that guy on and off the field. So I appreciate everybody tapping in. Thanks for tuning in, sticking with me with Off the Edge with Cam J. Next time is going to be the best time because, it's going to be the time that's up next. Think about that. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to ask y'all to tell your friend, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your mother about, Off the Edge with me, your host, Cam Jordan. Spread the word. Give us a 5-star rating. Leave a review. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're available. We're here to listen to. On a drive into the crib, come on. You going to work? Tune us in. You got some free time and you just want to hear some great talk? Why not choose Off the Edge with Cam Jordan? Appreciate y'all. Peace.